Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Now that we know that there has been a retrogression for Eb2 and Eb3 India, and we know some numbers that have come from USCIS regarding the spillovers. Now what's going to happen next? Let's talk about it. And I'll also talk about some of the important questions towards the end. So watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now do check out the links in the description for the products, as if you like and buy any of those, the channel will get a little bit of a commission. Now we got a shocker last week with the October 2022 visa bulletin. We were expecting that there won't be any retrogression, but there was a retrogression for Eb2 and Eb3. Now some people have commented me back that saying that how wrong I was in my prediction. Now let me tell you this, whenever I did any predictions in the last year or in the last couple of months, I've always made an exception. I always kept saying that the optimistic scenario of not having any retrogression, no retrogression for Eb2 or Eb3 was ultimately based on how much USCIS is aggressively moving their dates forward. Our entire premise was based on the fact that we trust USCIS that they are not significantly moving the dates forward in a very aggressive way in order to cause a retrogression in the future. We were hopeful that USCIS were diligent and was responsible enough to only move the dates forward enough to use up all the visa numbers for last year and also not cause any retrogression. But I think in the end what we discovered was it was all very aggressive. On one side, if you think about it, all the people who were ahead of you in the line, or not necessarily in some instances, have gotten their green cards because all the visa numbers were used up, which was a great news. Now all that backlog is out of the way. Now we still have more backlog to come, but at least it's lesser than what we had before. Isn't that great? But the downside is they moved so aggressively that it caused a retrogression now. Now talking about predictions. Why do we make predictions? A lot of people came back to me and say, if we are going to be wrong, why make predictions in the first place? Now I personally think that predictions or making predictions on educated guess or on data, by the way, some people claim to say that data is absolute and data is critical. In my last 23 years of experience, data has always changed. So it's a moving target. You need to take that with a pinch of salt. But we do predictions. We do predictions on the available information at the time. Now this available information keeps changing, and that's the reality in USCIS. But why do we make predictions in the first place? It's important in life. It's important to make predictions, to guess what's going to happen so that we can move forward in our life. It's in so many places. If you are in the market to buy a house, you'll be speculating based on the information that you have. Are the rates going to be lower or higher in the upcoming months? And can I make a decision based on that? Now, if the rates go higher instead of going lower as you had predicted, you don't blame anybody. You just move on with your life. सेम थिंग विद द वेदर इन इंडिया. आज पुणे में बारिश की छींटें होने की संभावना है. या तो बारिश कभी नहीं होती या तो इतनी होती है कि बाढ़ आ जाती है. सो व्हाट डू यू डू इन दोज प्रेडिक्शंस? बट दोज आर नेसेसरी. दोज आर नेसेसरी टू कीप यू मूविंग. And that's why we can make some guesstimates and estimations and predictions so that we can continue to move on with our lives. So with that said, stop attacking people who make predictions because they are making an effort to give you what's to come. Now predictions are not bound to be accurate. There is always going to be 50-50 chance that the predictions are going to be wrong, but there is no harm in doing so. Now let's talk about the spillover numbers. So I know for sure that some of you are interested in stock trading, day trading, buying cryptocurrencies. I want to present you VBull. VBull is a trading platform. It allows you to buy stocks. It allows you to buy options, do options trading. Also it allows you to buy cryptocurrency. It can be done on the computer or on the mobile app. Now if you use my link, which is on the screen and also in the description, you will get some free stocks. Now only for the month of August, VBull has announced that it will give 12 free stocks if you use my link. and those free stocks will be valued up to maximum of $30,600. So when you open an account using my link, you will get 2 free fractional share stocks. That value could be anywhere between $3 to $300. If you deposit at least 1 penny, you will get 4 to 10 free additional stocks valued from $7 to $3,000. So that's 12 stocks from Webull free for you if you use my link, and enjoy your free stocks. Since I made a video about 8 days back, I haven't been able to make a video because I was quite busy with the work and family life. So 50,000 spillover from FB to EB category for the year 2023 was not unexpected. If you look at my previous video where I made a prediction, I was thinking anywhere between 50 to 75,000 spillover visas from FB to EB category. That was based on the speed at which USCIS was adjudicating the cases in FB category, and that was my prediction, that we would have anywhere between 50 to 75. So 60,000 is in our expectation range. So now this is really good news, because we also have some other numbers coming from USCIS saying that there were about 39,000 Eb2 backlog. So basically people who have applied for 485 because they were current, but they did not end up getting in the green card because all the numbers were exhausted as of September 6th or 7th. So that is the pending backlog of people who are already in a adjustment of status. And then there are I think 20 to 25, I don't know the exact number, but I think it's in the range of 20,000 EB3 pending backlog who are in adjustment of status, and there is no visa number available. So now with this 60,000 visa numbers available, most of those are going to come towards this EB2 and EB3 category. Now let's quickly look at the math. I'll put a calculation on the screen and you can pause the video and read through it, but here is what it is. I said that EB2 will move very slowly, maybe 6 months for the initial throughout the year. As we know more spillover numbers from the EB1 category or from the rest of the world, those numbers will be, or those dates will be adjusted, and they may move forward a little bit faster. But for the initial couple of months, these dates are for EB2 India are going to move painfully slow. So as you all know, we have 140,000 EB based green cards available for FY23, out of which it is divided as 28% for EB1, 28% for EB2 and 28% for EB3. On top of that, they right away apply 7% country cap. So not more than 2,800 visas are available for a particular country, say for instance India. So let's go with 2,800. Now in the last couple of years, we have seen that there is a spillover from EB and EB1 and from rest of the world. Now spillovers have diminished in the last couple of years because more and more people are now actually applying for green cards in their respective countries. But let's say even with the spillovers, the actual number for India would increase from 2,800 to say 4,500 or 4,000 to 4,500. Now let's say we have 60,000 green cards spilled over from FB category to EB category that are available, that will be taken into account into these dates in the near future. So most of these green cards are going to be coming right away to EB2. The reason I say this is because EB1 has enough green cards, rest of the world has enough green cards. EB4 and EB5 are small categories, so they're not very significant. So most of these 60,000 visas, I would say about 40,000, let's be conservative, 40,000 are going to come straight away to EB2 India. So now we have how many visas available for EB2 India? The 4,000 that we discussed earlier plus this 40,000, so about 44,000 in my opinion. But looking at the backlog in the sense that how many are the pending applications in EB2 already with USCIS that could not get a green card because of the unavailability of visa number in FY22, those are about 39,000. So most of these applications are pending and they are going to be processed in the next couple of months. Now most of these applications are pending and they may, if your date is still current, they may get processed and they will be the first in line to get that visa number and get processed because the dates have stalled or moved back. So there is no more incoming inventory coming into this pending application pool. So as long as your date is current and you are already in adjustment of status, you will get a visa number from this trickled over or spilled over visa numbers category in the next couple of months. So those will be mostly used up. So what does that mean? That means again we are back to about 4,000 to 5,000 visa numbers available for EB category. Now the only thing that we will be looking forward to are if there are any extra spillovers that will come from the rest of the world or EB1 category. But I think those numbers will be very low, and that's why I said EB2 will stay within 2012, or maybe in the most optimistic scenario, if we expect another 10,000 or 20,000 visa numbers spilled over from the rest of the world or from EB1, we may see those dates moving into 2013 or either mid to late 2013. Now really a lot depends on how many are spilled overs from this rest of the world category or EB1. Now I want to take a pause and talk about EB1. Lately I have been getting a lot of questions regarding say for instance somebody is in EB2 or EB3 and they have been in that category for a long time waiting for their green card. Now they have acquired some new skills, some trainings, some have done PhDs, things like that, and now suddenly they are eligible for EB1 category, especially EB1A category. Now there is another set of pool of people who have considered going out of the country and coming back after a year, having worked as in a managerial role outside the country and coming back to the same subsidiary in the United States. Now they qualify for EB1C. Now lately what has been happening is a lot of people have been upgrading their petitions to EB1 even. Now I don't have the exact number, but I think that number is high. So how much ever you think that there are significant number of visas spilled over from EB1 to EB2, I think personally that there are not many. Now this data is never disclosed to us by USCIS, but that is what we are seeing. We are seeing the effect of it. So the silver lining here is, if you think that you qualify for EB1A or EB1C, do consider applying, because USCIS in my opinion has lowered the bar, or they are approving more and more leniently in these particular cases, EB1A and EB1C. That has been my observation. Now rest of the world, as we have seen, that those spillovers continue to come, but those are not that many, because right after the COVID, now the number of people who are applying from the rest of the world has also increased. So they are likely to use up as many visa numbers as possible that are given to them. So don't expect many visa spillovers from the rest of the world either. So not to discourage you, the EB2 will keep moving forward. We will be very lucky if it goes into 2014 by the end of fiscal year 2023. But my realistic scenario is it will somewhere end up in 2013. I'm happy to be wrong in this case as well, but this is what I think from my calculations. But mind you, if there are any spillovers, those all will be catered towards EB2 and EB3. So that we can take solace in. Now some people who have reached out to me are also telling me that they had interviews throughout September. So they have attended an interview in September, maybe before September 6th or after September 6th. What happens to their cases? Now the main question here is, when does a visa number get allocated to your case? Now in the vast majority of the cases, or almost all the cases, there are a few exceptions and I will come to those. The visa number is always allocated or pulled from the system by a USCIS officer before they hit the approve button, approve for your I-485. That is one of the last steps that they can do before they approve your green card. So this is after they have gone through background check, after they have gone through an interview, if there is an interview, and when they are ready to hit that approve button, they pull a visa number, and that's when it gets allocated to the case. Now if your interview happened after September 6th, there is a chance that even the USCIS officer has fully reviewed your case and is ready to approve, they don't have a visa number available because it was still not attached to your application. So your application may remain pending until until the end of September and even beyond, because of the retrogression. If you are impacted by retrogression, you will still have to wait until your date becomes current again. Now on the flip side, some people have claimed that they had the interview after September 8th and still got their green card. That might be because the officer had already pulled a number for you and you were purely lucky, because some officers may have been doing that. They may have pulled a number for you and it was just the formality that they had to complete with your interview to push the approve button. So that is quite possible, but that is not the norm. Now what happens if your date retrogresses? If you are so close to getting your green card, say for instance your priority date was November 30th of 2014, so you were technically current, and now you retrogressed and you already had your interview and everything. Now what happens to you? Now in the retrogression scenario, you will still remain in pending adjustment of status. So your I-485 will go back to pending visa number availability status or something like that. You will be able to avail the EAD and advanced payroll benefits. You can continue to extend them, renew them, so on and so forth, or you can choose to keep extending your L1 or H1B as if that is possibility for you. It's just unfortunate that you'll still have to wait a little bit longer to get your green card, but you'll still be in the pending adjustment of status. Now another important question just related to that is my child is aging out. It's very close to getting to 21 years of old age, and now the dates have retrogressed. How does it impact? Well, the question to ask is your child's CSPA date, Child Status Protection Act date, is it being frozen? So there are a couple of conditions. Your I-140 has to be approved, and during your application of adjustment of status, your date should have been current at any moment. If those conditions are met, your child's age will be protected. So even if the date retrogresses for next several years, your child will still be on your application and in the pending adjustment of status. Now the only caveat here is if the child gets married, if they turn 23, 24 years of age, if they get married, then they no longer can remain on their parents' petition, because that is one of the conditions that puts them out of this application. But as long as they remain unmarried, they will still remain on your pending application. So I think I covered a couple of important questions that I have been getting. When does the visa number get assigned to your case? The child locking situation, and then there was one more: do family members of the green card applicant get counted towards these numerical limits? The answer is yes, unfortunately, because so if you think about it, if you have 100,000 visa numbers, it's not that 100,000 families will get their green cards. It's 100,000 individuals will get their green cards, because each visa number is taken up by each applicant on the case. It doesn't matter if they are part of a family or not. So if there are any other questions that you have, please put them in the comment section below, or reach me out on my Patreon site and I'll be happy to answer them. And if you got value out of this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.